Bonner.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. On behalf of the Standing Committee on Procedure, I present the committee's report entitled A Window on the House, Practices and Procedures Relating to Question Time, together with the minutes of proceedings, and I ask leave of the House to make a short statement in connection with the report.
Is leave granted? The member for Franklin.
Granted.
Thank the member for Franklin. The member for Bonner in continuation.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Before I begin my statement, may I thank my colleagues on the committee. To the Deputy Chair, the member for Oxley, we've known each other for over 20 years and it was a pleasure to work with you on the report. All committee members work together extremely well and this cooperative behaviour showcases the excellent but little publicised workings of Parliament.
Sometimes.
I'd also like to thank my committee members Ian Goodenough, Julian Simmons, Joe Ryan, Patrick Gorman and Gladys Liu, and of course our outstanding Secretariat, Natalie, Kate, Penny, and all those who work behind the scenes on the report. Thank you so much. Mr Deputy Speaker, question time plays an important critical review function in the House. And in 2019, the Procedure Committee decided to inquire into the practices and procedures relating to this unique and very visible part of the parliamentary day. We were keen to hear directly from the public as part of our inquiry. As well as inviting submissions, we launched a survey to ask people about their thoughts. Almost 3,500 people responded to the public survey and we received more than 50 submissions. We also had a survey for members. I would like to thank everyone who made a submission or responded to the surveys. I'd like to thank our current Speaker for his invaluable input. I'd like also to thank State and Territory Speakers, current members of this House, former Speakers, academics, parliamentary practitioners and school students who took the time to meet with us, make submissions or appear at hearings. We had hoped to meet with more members of the public face-to-face, but unfortunately COVID-19 meant that we weren't able to do that last year. Nonetheless, the message from the public survey was clear. More than 95% of respondents thought that the House should change how question time operates. In the survey submissions and hearings, we heard many suggestions for change. While we couldn't consider them all, we explored a lot of them and we tried to address as many of them as possible in our report. Improving question time as a forum for accountability and scrutiny, having better questions and answers, and lifting the standard of behaviour were key themes. We have developed a package of 11 recommendations that we consider would address these. We recommend a question time consisting of a minimum of 21 questions each day, at least 10 questions from opposition members, 5 questions from government members on a rostered basis, 5 constituency questions from government members on a rostered basis, 1 question from a non-aligned member, and there could be 1 supplementary question from an opposition member each day. We also recommend new time limits of 30 seconds for questions and 2 minutes for answers, with no point of order on relevance allowed in the first 30 seconds of an answer. We propose curbing the use of tag questions about alternative approaches and also suggest that the Prime Minister should speak to any questions posed to him or her first, even if they then choose to refer it to another minister for a more detailed response. And I note that the Prime Minister seems to have addressed this issue, judging by his current approach. This package of changes would encourage questions to be more focused and answers to be more tighter and more relevant. We would also limit opportunities for Dorothy Dick-style questions while still allowing all members to ask questions. The inquiry also heard concerns about the tone and tenor of question time. At the moment, there are 2 options for managing disorderly behaviour: a 1-hour suspension under Standing Order 94A, or the more serious naming, which can result in suspension for a minimum of 24 hours. We recommend an additional option, so the Speaker can direct a member who is disorderly to leave the House for a 3-hour period. This would be served during question time and discussion of matters of public importance and carry across sitting days if necessary. We also recommend a trial of very limited mobile phone use by members. We know how people are concerned when they see members on their phones who don't seem to be paying attention to question time. But we also heard that phones are sometimes being used to communicate very relevant information. So we have proposed a trial to see whether limiting phone use would be workable in the longer term. We are very conscious that question time is the window through which the House is often viewed and judged. But it's not always representative of the serious and thoughtful way that members carry out much of their other work. We recommend more promotion to highlight the other work of the House. The House may also wish to consider making more use of the time immediately after prayers for condolence motions and matters on indulgence. Ultimately, responsibility for the operation of question time rests with the House itself. I hope it will use this report as a blueprint for change, and I commend this report to the House.
I thank the member for